One of the consistent criticisms of the WWE and wrestling in general these days has been the lack of new stars. I mean, we've talked about it a million times. The next Rock, the next Austin, the next Brett, the next Shawn, the next Piper, the next Flair. Where are they? What we seem to be getting, though, is a cycle of empty promises. I mean, a while ago, people would message me declaring that Elijah Burke and Carlito were the next faces of WrestleMania. Now, people seem to be talking about how Kofi Kingston and Jack Swagger are the next big things. It's like a revolving door of empty promises where nothing ever actually happens. And that's the theme, empty promises, that I would like you to keep in mind during this review because it's something that we'll be touching on over and over again. WrestleMania 25 was head-scratchingly ridiculous, and this WrestleMania seemed to try to correct many of the mistakes of that debacle. First of all, they actually bothered to air the tag team title match this time. Wow! Gee, thanks WWE. You think maybe you can air it again next time too? That'd be great. But where have tag teams gone in the WWE? The Miz and the Big Show? R-Truth and Morrison? What is this, like continuing the legacy of Regal and Tajiri, these clusterfuck teams? Where's the Hart Foundation? Where's Demolition? Where's the Rockers? Where are the Hardy Boys? Where are the real tag teams? Because when teams are all random like this, people don't care about them because they're forgettable. Big Show and The Miz, their victory will not be talked about. They will not have the legacy of Demolition. As far as I'm concerned, the triple threat match pretty much exposed Cody Rhodes and the Million Penny Man more than ever. These guys are not stars, which goes back to our theme of empty promises. I mean, remember when the WWE would actually try to build wrestlers into characters? Like they take a Scott Hall and they package him into Razor Ramon. They don't seem to do that anymore. I mean, here you have Cody Rhodes walking down the aisle in generic tights, and the people are just standing there looking at him quietly, waiting for his entrance to end. I mean, I heard no pop until Randy Orton came out. I mean, these guys, DiBiase and Rhodes, they look like two jobbers going up against a real star. They look like two Brooklyn Brawlers kicking at The Rock. The WWE has not properly packaged them yet. They are not ready yet. By the way, during this match, did you notice how boring the commentating was? They did not sound excited to be at a WrestleMania at all. They sounded like they were calling a golf tournament or something, like all these long pauses. Like, where's the charisma and humor of Bobby Heenan, the intensity of Jesse Ventura? You know, they came across as quiet as the crowd. You know, what is this boring crap? So basically, this triple threat match consisted of two jobbers beating on Randy Orton in front of a quiet crowd with boring commentary. In other words, Randy Orton is all by himself out there. He is completely alone. He is the only one on the screen. His intensity and star power were the only things carrying this match. And given those circumstances, I must say, he did an admirable job. Next was Money in the Bank. Now, the one from WrestleMania 25, that debacle of a pay-per-view, actually kind of sucked. I mean, you think, how could a Money in the Bank be boring? But it was. It felt like they planned it out at the last second. It felt stale. This one, however, was vastly better. Right? It felt like they spent more time planning it out. I mean, you had the spots with the two ladders going into the middle. Those ladders seem specially made, by the way, and bendable. They don't seem like the ones you get at the hardware store. And you had Kofi walking on the stilts. It was a fun time, a good match. I have no complaints about it. But when you look at the participants of this Money in the Bank, it just goes right back to our theme of empty promises. I mean, you have Shelton Benjamin. Where's this guy been? All right, the commentator actually called him a 10-year veteran, but it doesn't feel that way because he never amounted to anything. Then you have Jack Swagger, which the commentator boldly said would carry the WWE one day. Oh, really? You mean like Shelton Benjamin? Then you have Intercontinental Champion Drew McIntyre. Who in the blue hell is this Rudy Poo candy ass? Scottish sensation. This guy is 1% of Roddy Piper as Intercontinental Champion. Face it, the biggest stars in this Money in the Bank were the guys from the Attitude Era. Kane, Christian Cage, and Matt Hardy. All I got to say about the Hall of Fame is, dude, Bob Uecker looks the same. Now that Triple H has beaten Sheamus into obscurity, this brings up a question. Why did that guy even become WWE Champion? Why was he randomly champion with no build-up from TLC to Elimination Chamber if the title match was just going to be Cena versus Batista? You know, like, what the fuck, you know? Why didn't he just get a traditional build-up? Start him out as Intercontinental Champion. He would have been a heck of a lot stronger than Drew McIntyre, you know, Rudy Poo Drew. You know, this could have been Sheamus's path, proper path, towards a world title, but he's already had it, so it messes it up. I did like how they showed the Warrior squashing Triple H, though. That was fun to watch. But imagine if Triple H, rookie, randomly won and lost the title before fighting the Warrior. That would have been messed up, right? Edge's Slim Jim commercial, in my opinion, pretty much summarizes who the WWE's target audience is these days. Are you one of them? The Jericho Edge match and the CM Punk Mysterio match were pretty routine matches. They were routine matches. You can't really hate on these matches, but you're not going to really love them either. The highlight, though, was CM Punk. He comes out with his microphone, dissing the crowd like he's IRS, and I loved his quick pin. So old school. CM Punk clearly out-wrestled and outsmarted Rey Mysterio in that match. He technically dominated that match. But yet, after all that, Rey Mysterio does 2 moves and wins the match. Oh, brother. As much as I like Bret Hart, his match at WrestleMania was awkward. You know, it was awkward. First of all, he seemed really nervous. Second of all, it was just awkward the way the Hart family came down to the ring to be lumberjacks. Some still wearing their tuxedos and evening gowns. You know, it was weird. It was awkward. In my opinion, here's how it should have happened. Bret Hart comes down to the ring to his new music. Vince McMahon then comes out with a mic and says, "Tonight's the night Vince screws Bret because he's hired some extra muscle to help him in this no DQ match." The other half of the Hart Foundation, Jim Neidhart. The original Hart Foundation music then starts playing. Jim Neidhart comes out and walks with Vince into the ring. Bret then grabs the mic and says, "No, tonight's the night Bret screws Vince." The bell rings. Jim Neidhart clotheslines Vince McMahon and holds him up, and Bret Hart gives Vince the heart attack and pins him immediately. 1, 2, 3, just like WrestleMania 6 all over again. Bret then puts Vince in the sharpshooter and refuses to let go as Neidhart chases the referee away. Eventually, Bret lets go of the sharpshooter, and now the Hart family makes its way to the ring, and they celebrate in the ring and put Bret on their shoulders just like WrestleMania 10. That, in my opinion, is how it should have happened. In my opinion, the Batista-Cena match was pretty much acknowledgement by the WWE on just how far things have declined in wrestling. Think about it. In the promotional video for this match, Batista calls himself and Cena the 2 biggest stars since the Attitude Era. Yet here we have the 2 biggest stars since the Attitude Era colliding for the heavyweight title of the world at WrestleMania. And it's not even the last match on the card. If that's not acknowledgement, I don't know what is. Instead, these 2 biggest stars since the Attitude Era take a back seat to a career match between Shawn Michaels and Taker, 2 aging Attitude Era guys. Even Lawler said on the air that everyone he ran into that week said they came to see HBK Taker. So there you go. As far as the HBK Taker match goes, it kind of reminded me of the CM Punk Mysterio match in that Shawn Michaels clearly out-wrestled and outsmarted the Taker in this match kayfabe-wise. By the way, it's nice to know that at least the Taker seems to know how to properly sell a leg injury throughout the entire match, unlike John Cena, who magically healed and seemed to forget that he was supposed to be injured halfway through his WrestleMania match with Shawn Michaels. And Taker hesitating to end Shawn Michaels' wrestling career was pulled straight from Warrior at WrestleMania 7 and Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 24. So once again, like CM Punk, Shawn Michaels wrestles the smarter match, but doesn't win. So then, what's the point of wrestling a smarter match if it doesn't work? Just do 1 or 2 moves and win, like Taker and Mysterio. And once again, this is not the last time we're going to be seeing Shawn Michaels in the ring, alright? First of all, he's 44 years old. That was not his last match. Second of all, I think we're going to be seeing him as stuff like guest referee, commissioner, and all that other crap. Right? I wasn't emotional at all at the end of the show. I turned off the TV normally at the end of this WrestleMania, which was decent and a heck of a lot better than WrestleMania 25.